Hey, this is Mr. Barr, and today we are doing interpreting scatter plots, and we get some weird looking animal there. It is a saola. I do not know what that is. Here we go, though. So our goal is I can use statistics to understand the world around me. Information, data is displayed in graphs and tables all over the place, TV, books, internet. I want to be able to understand this information and be an informed citizen. When it starts to rain, do umbrella sales go up? Well, probably. If there is a connection, is there a connection between the number of hours you study and the grades you get on a test? Yeah, probably. You have to back up your answers with data, though. Today, you're going to learn how to read the data when it is presented in what's called a scatter plot. A scatter plot is a collection of data points all plotted on a graph. This is a scatter plot. It's a connection between husbands' ages and wives' ages. So imagine I go around and I survey a bunch of people and I get their ages and I plot this. But it could be things besides husbands and wives. It could be ages and heights, or ages and IQs, or it's just data, okay? So don't get hung up on what the data is for this example. There are three types of scatter plots. If the line is going up, we call it a positive trend. If the data points are going down, we call it a negative trend. And if the data points are just all over the place, it's called no trend. So let's get going on our notes. We'll start with our title, which is Interpreting Scatter Plots. So let's start with your name. And today's title is Interpreting Scatter Plots. And we have three types of scatter plots to show. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. And this is kind of fun because you're just going to make a bunch of dots. Dot, 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 dot. Yeah? And how about this one? Dot, 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 dot. And then this one? Dot, 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 dot. And what do those scatter plots show? Well, this one shows a positive trend. No, it doesn't. It shows a negative trend. This one shows a positive trend. And this one shows no trend. And the idea of the negative and the positive, they should look familiar because we had the same thing, negative lines and positive lines, when we were doing lines recently. So we got negative, positive trend, and no trend. So let's look at this. What kind of trend is here? Well, this is a positive trend. And what's the connection between the x and the y? On a positive trend, as x goes up, y goes up. As the age goes up, the wife's age goes up. So the relationship here, and we'll put this into our notes, as x goes up, y goes up. So a positive trend, let's go back to this, we'll call this relationships. So for positive, as x goes up, y goes up. And if it's not x and y, we just replace x and y with whatever it is. As time goes up, grade goes up. As husband's age goes up, wife's age goes up. That's a positive trend. Once again, look at this one. Is this a positive, a negative, or no trend? Well, this is a positive trend. And what's the relationship? As weight goes up, height goes up. Positive trend, as X goes up, Y goes up. Oh, look at this one. Is this a positive or negative? This is a negative trend. Well, let's write the relationship. Negative as X goes up, Y goes down. As X goes up, Y goes down. As length goes up, success goes down. Positive or negative? This is a negative. What's the relationship? As exercise goes up, resting heart rate goes down. Positive, negative, or no relationship? No trend here. I don't know what's going on there. No trend. All right, our final thing is the idea of the outlier. The outlier is a point that doesn't match with all the other points. So let's do a coordinate system. I'll make a negative scatter plot. And we're going to have this one goofy point right over there. If I have a point that doesn't match the trend, it's called an outlier. It's a point that does not fit with the trend. An outlier is a little point that doesn't fit with the trend. So if this is a negative trend and I've got some point that just totally doesn't belong with the trend, that is called an outlier. Doesn't always have to be below. I could have an outlier above, left or right of it, but it's that one point that doesn't seem to fit in. So when I look at this, I think this is probably showing a negative trend. My best estimate is kind of something like that. And this guy over here is an outlier. Now, if we plotted all this data, we could determine if it's a positive trend or a negative trend. And if we took all this data and plotted it, we could also determine if it's a positive trend or a negative trend. So let's do this one. I'm going to get a piece of graph paper, and I'm just going to plot it, and we'll try to figure out what's going on with this. You know what? This one, I think we're done with the notes. I do not expect you to do this part, but I'll do it. I hope you keep watching. But you do not need to plot this. So I create a coordinate system. And I'm going to plot 1, 3, 1, 3, 2, 8, 2, 8, 3, 11, 3, let's see, 4, 8, 5, 13, 5, that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 6, 18, 6, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So what does this look like to you? Looking at that data set, that sure looks like a positive trend. So if I'm just given a bunch of points, I can plot the points and figure out if it's positive or negative. All right, that's it for the notes. Thank you for watching and have a good day.